What is up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Anno 2205. My name is Splattercat. Happy to have you here today as we hang out for a little while. And I think we're going to expand over here. So this area, I fiddled around with it for a while in between episodes. And really, sincerely, I strongly dislike the layout, and it can't be fixed at a certain point. At a certain point, a mess is so large that you gotta rip out the carpet and just put in a new one. And this area would be fairly representative of that situation. I'm not really pleased with it. I think I'll probably connect this factory last, but aside from that, I think it's time that we expand out to a new island and we start fresh and we try to do things a little bit nicer, a little bit cleaner, make them all look good. I think what I like about this game so far is that I don't really have to crowd things together like I did in the previous game. Almost competitive style. And so I'm hoping that I can stay away from building like this again in the future. Now, all things considered, for not knowing the game, I don't think this layout was absolutely terrible. We did a pretty good job with the efficiency, sort of retrofitting after the fact and just making things work as best we could. Still, I think it'd be very, very nice to jump onto a new island, and so that's exactly what we're going to do, because we actually have to attract or I guess we have to attract executives right now. I got to work on my corporate chic look so that I can look all corporate sexy, so that all the dudes can run their hands up my thigh once I start drinking mojitos. Let's see here. Claim that area.
It's yours.
Perfecto. I'm actually just going to expand sort of in a linear way. I'm just going to pick up these islands as I desire them. What do you guys have going on?
CEO would like to make you an offer that is to our mutual benefit.
Small orders, yes.
Nice.
I actually do need money, so that would be an absolutely fantastic quest for us to do.
Pass along this request, if you don't mind.
I don't really need that, though. And so for the money side, let's go ahead and see if I can find those real quick. So we got this cat over here. He wants me to take this boat all the way off to this side. So that's exactly what are these? Are those like security systems? What are those? Are they going to hurt me? Are they going to shoot the lasers at me? Here, just
on our way.
Sit over there for a second while I figure out the rest of these shenanigans. Alright, and so the shenanigans we got to work with today, I'm actually just trying to get us rich today. That's all that I care about. I just want to make money. And so I'm actually going to go out of my way here to connect all of these little things before we go further. And what I'd like to do on this side is we actually need to increase our production because the loss in rejuvenators is costing us a decent amount of money right now. What happened with that, I couldn't really say, but apparently something has messed up our rejuvenator transfer rate, and so, or I'm sorry, it's our synth cells have for some reason dropped off, and so now we got to get more of those so that we can have some biomedical factories. It's just a mess, and we're going to fix it right now, I promise. And so how expensive is this going to get? It actually wasn't that terrible, and that got us down to -2. Now what you should see is you should see a bunch of people moving in, and so the money we just spent should come back pretty rapidly. It may not come back like instantaneously, but it'll come back at a rate that I assume is somewhat acceptable.
Try with that, are you? You won't, right?
Well, I'm not trying to, but I'm trying to sneak in between these thingies over here that I think are probably up to no good. I don't know, they look shifty to me. They definitely don't look like friendly, like happy hug spheres. They look like things that would probably laser me, or at least set off a security system and make some corporate entity very, very, very upset with the way that I've engaged myself. Go ahead and drop those off on that side while I work over here. Getting started, so that's going to make it, well, almost all better. Not really. Kind of all better, but almost there, but not quite. But the next thing that we can do is we can actually drop. Those are actually quite a bit smaller than I expected. Okay. I don't know if this is like the best way to do these or if there's like a more efficient way. And obviously if I wasn't on camera right now, I would fiddle a little bit more and try to get them, you know, construed in a way that does not look funky. However, can I not do anything with that? I'm about to move these over, aren't I? Alright. Let's move you to here. And now that you have been effectively moved, sir, if I wanted these to line up with houses, I think I would have to do it.
My superior is impressed by what you achieved.
Oh, Lord. That's not good.
Methane Industries is the world's foremost provider of mining and heavy industry services. Cooperation could be beneficial.
That's not like horrific, but I don't really like it either. But we could mush it into. Oh, it doesn't line up by one. That's so upsetting. That's deeply upsetting. Ah, we're already doing it again. And by we, I mean me. Basically, I just need to get these rotated. That's all that really matters here. And then once I get them all rotated, then we can fiddle further. So, what I wanted to do was take these and maybe go like that then, since they won't line up with the houses the way that they are. Perfect. I mean, I didn't expect that to work, but the fact that it did totally does not harsh my groove. And so we'll bring that over to there. We'll have this little guy. Ew, that's kind of ugly, but you know what? I'd rather have that right there than anything else. So
conservative. Come on, make your voice count.
let's go ahead and we'll drop a couple of houses up in there. We will also strongly consider the housing situation in this area once we actually sort it out. And so let me go ahead and lay these down real fast. The way that you want to do this, as I recall, I don't have the order memorized right now. And so there's like an effective way to do this with the information center. But at the core of the idea is that the information center should be first, and then you kind of expand out from there in various directions. So let's fiddle with it, and let's see if we can get this to work. Because it looks like if we drop that right there, I don't know exactly how this is going to affect things, but it looks cool, doesn't it? I mean... And so let's say that I drop that right there. And I take these like so. I should probably start from this edge, though. I'm trying to generate some revenues right now because we've been broke for a while, so I'm trying to make some money, but it is what it is. I would probably say that we could pay to take that down to right there. And then what I'll do with these is actually I'm going to leave them where they're at. I got to demolish this road real quick. And mostly I just got to get this lined up, and hopefully we don't hit that mountain right there. Ah, so close. So close, but so far. But so far away. There we go. And I'm sure they'll want me to spend more money or something in just a minute. But for right now... So this would have to go out by one more. Which is not the worst thing that's ever happened to me. It'll work for right now. Got that all nice and in, so that getting hooked up to our transit hub should get the balance a little bit higher. I don't know how we're looking on seafood or other sundries, and so unfortunately I'm going to have to take a look at that real fast. We've got desalination plant. How are we doing on water right now? Sector balance is at -1, so another desal would probably be a smart idea right here. Let's go ahead and bang that on out so that we can keep these people happy. Building the desalinator should put us back into the positive. As long as we don't have a negative, we should continue to make money here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to yoke up the efficiency here because I don't really have much of a choice. I just kind of want to make sure that we have more than enough water to keep ourselves functioning for a little bit as we expand this area. We also need to expand our transit network, which is part of this major quest right here to get more electricity. I don't know. I mean, it's doable. It's just kind of a pain in the ass. That's probably a bad idea because I doubt that we have the surplus we need of a lot of the related services. The other thing that we would want to do right now is we probably want to slap in a security sector around here. And the security guy would probably want to be like right here basically, or you could put him on the corner on this side, which would work fairly well. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that real fast. We don't have anybody in here that's going to use it, but I'm trying to make sure that before we go on up, they got access to everything they need. So we take these, we're going to upgrade as many as we can. We're going to watch the profits roll on in, which is going to be great.
Climate at work? Talk about a
They actually appear to have everything that they desire. Oh, okay, so that's a little bit wild. I wasn't expecting that to happen, but that works for me. Executive Desmond.
Everything is going according to schedule. Not long before you cross the final frontier, so to speak.
Oh, okay.
John Rafferty is already reviewing the plans for the launch ramps. Let's complete the final stages and make those plans a reality.
Did you drop off the thing already and get us paid? He must have. Right? Well, I hope he did anyways. If he didn't, this might get a little gnarly. Papadakis wants me to find crates on any island. I'll keep an eye out for him while I pan and scan around. Tends to be the easiest way to manage this. We're back up to a 3,000 surplus, which is good considering in the previous couple episodes. Oh, yeah! I forgot to bring it up. So there's an episode missing in between here and the last episode. Unfortunately, the power went out while I was recording, and it corrupted both the audio and the video. And I spent a couple hours trying to fix it, but it was really not fixable. It was just sort of a poopy situation that made me very, very upset with my lot in life. But, you know, first world problems and all that ish. Oh, I ran out of bio... Okay. So I probably need some more bioplastics, too. It might not be a terrible idea to get that production rolling. Other things are looking okay for right now, though, and the cash flow is looking absolutely fantastic. So maybe we'll go in on a couple of logistical centers to try and get ourselves maxed out on logistical support, but it just seems like, I don't know. It just seems like a waste to me. It just seems like I could do more with what I have here. This space right here, I might be able to make some sort of factory or something. That doesn't fit right there. It does, however, fit right there, so... You know what, let's go for it. That'll get us up to 64. I don't know why that number keeps going up, because it says we need a surplus of logistics in Walbrick, but we only have 64 left, but it says we have 99. I am not positive what that's monitoring right now, but I'm not going to pay attention to it because that's the way that I respond to stimuli that I don't find to be satisfying. I think I'll probably need more algae, and so I'm going to go in on that real quick because our algal production is kind of poopy at the moment. That is going to cost us, though, but long term this is going to be a smart plan because it gives us a big surplus of algae, which is needed to provide these little individuals with their rejuvenators. Now, the neural implants, I'm going to have to line that up from the next sector over, and so unfortunately I can't do much from there. Still... I'm going to go in on, what are the, oh, okay, so those are operator houses. This one needs information. Okay, well, I can fix that easy peasy. Bam, you have information now. I'll probably leave this some kind of empty so that I can maybe put in some kind of factories right here, maybe. And then that would work out okay for me. That still doesn't line up. So I'm assuming on this side it lines up. But this way, maybe you got to use the big houses. No, even the big houses don't line up right there. Interesting. There was a right way to do this right here. And it looks like I have just overshot it completely. What I could do is I could take this on this side and I could drop this into right here. And then it wouldn't be too bad, I think, to just shift the road over by one. And then we can make it work like that. But it would require a little bit of retrofitting. Or, you know. It doesn't have to be retro. It could be future fitted, I guess, if you really want it to. But it's going to require me to wipe out this road right here. And also move a bunch of these houses. It'd be cool if you could move houses as a stack as well. It's going to mess up this road on this side too, I think. But basically the general idea that I'm getting at is that we take this guy like so. Wait a minute. What have I done wrong here? So on that side, it actually does not line up. Okay, so that makes me feel better. I feel much, much better about that situation. Let me leave these right here for right now. I'm going to fiddle with that design strategy a little bit later because I don't want to waste like 30 minutes of a video just trying to rotate this thing and figure out what the most efficient way to make roads are for it. Instead... I suppose I could do it like that, where I put a road down the middle. Like so. And then that would work all the way down. The opposite would be true. This area I can't fit anything in just yet. I think I had to expand it out by one space anyways, though. So it might be worth playing around with, make it look... I mean, it's a waste of roads. It's going to cost a fortune to put in all the roads right there. But aside from that... kind of looks cool. We haven't done anything like that before, so figure we'll give it a go. I doubt that that's going to line up kosher style, just because arithmetically you would need the things to add up from the roads plus that to equal the amount of space that you need. Well, anyways, you get the idea of what I'm going for. Because of the way this is constructed, it may not line up at the end of the road the way that we want. Yeah, and so we missed it by 1 right there. So close. So close. That is a frustration right there. I'll just put a bunch of gardens back on that end, and it'll be perfectly fine, and nobody will ever complain about it, except for maybe those 1 or 2 people on the internet who are just like, ah, I am the best at this game. I have dedicated large portions of my life to being better at you. Bask in my eminent glory. Yeah, it works for me. I'll just use little ornamentation thingies down here. Oh my god, look at that. It's a park. It makes things look nicer even though it's really, really expensive. And so we got more people moving in right now. What did we need to do for the... Oh, that's right. We needed to start upgrading the spaceport in Walbrook with a launch pad. And then we needed to produce luxury food. All right. So that requires 5,000 executives. Wow. We got to go all in on this executive business, don't we? I don't know how I feel about this. Alright, we're going to leave that space for right now. What do we need in order to make executive foods? We need cattle ranches. I would assume for luxury food you need beef, you need wine. Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff we got to craft in here, but we got to get the executives to do it first. Okay. Well, my suggestion then would be to give it a spin and just sort of see what happens down here. Give ourselves a pretty sprawling metropolis.
Here in my home? Well, why not?
And then we'll just kind of see how this whole executive situation pans out, shall we? Looks like it cost me a little bit of my super. What does it cost me to upgrade these?
Business successes multiplying.
Take super alloys, biopolymers. So yeah, the biopolymers are going to be the limiting reagent right now. I think those were back here with these workers. And if I take that, how big are the little attachments for this guy? Oh. They are well sized. And so there it is. We're going to start mashing out biopolymers because apparently I have the space for them. That will also cure up what I was going to do with this area right here, so that makes me pretty happy. I was going to fiddle with it, but it looks fine to me at this point. Other things that we might be low on. Production is 16. So we definitely need more rejuvenators. However, the rejuvenator building is all kinds of odd. And so in general, I don't like placing it pretty much anywhere. Just because it's got some kind of weird cyber deck thing going on. Where it's just kind of strange looking. And so I'll drop it somewhere that keeps it useful. But for right now, that's not going to help me. Why did I build this? God. I was reading the menu wrong is why I built it. I don't know what I'm doing here anymore. I don't know what I'm doing anymore, and I'm forced to admit it to all of you here and now. It's a little embarrassing.
Sorry if I sound all wound, but I need that job finished.
You know what? You're beginning to bother me a little bit. If you have, like, wet work that you need done, how about you go ahead and dip your hands in ice water, pal? Get out there and handle your shit. Instead of, you know, forcing somebody else to get it done. Oh, so it adds on. It actually rolls over. Okay. So that means we need another infodrome down here. Just moving stuff around is not going to be enough because you have to get all their preceding needs as well. That's not terrible. I think it's manageable, and we can make this happen. So let's go, and that makes a lot of sense, actually, based on what I've viewed earlier in the game. I'll just put another information center, like, down over here or something. And that'll be perfectly fine. I'll put a road out to here and a road out to here once we figure out what it is that we need from all of this. I'm going to continue mashing out executives here.
Whoa, you generated some buzz. A lot of decision makers would like to have your support, like where the real decisions are made. Think about it.
Well, there are two things I like to generate, buzz and finances. And so, as you can see, business is booming, sister. I think over on this side, there's probably something I can put in here to make this look a little bit nicer. I do think that we need more neurocell research, and so if I could get that positive, I wouldn't complain. It's a little bit wasted right there, but still looks nice to me, so, you know, I can always build more. And what's wrong with this? There's energy missing. Okay, so our electricity situation is a little bit at the moment. So what that comes down to is how do we want to make this work? And honestly, I could probably just put a plant right here. And I bet if I just focus on squeezing these in right here on this side, that'll probably get us into the black as far as that's concerned. Road like there looks okay to me. Can't really do that on that side. Can't really do that on that side, but I can do it right there. And so I'm going to channel that can-do attitude. Okay, so that looks nice right there. That'll make me happy. That gets me up to 285. We still got to get another 2,500 executives before we can move on to the next area. Shouldn't be too difficult to accomplish. Like, I think it's manageable. It's just sort of like I got to stay on top of it. And we got to wait for biopolymers to generate. Because obviously, we need more factories or we need more farmy things. So let's find the farms real fast that produce the oil. We need sunflower farms. Okay. And if I drop a sunflower farm right here, in the interest of keeping that nice and clean right there, keeping that all lined up. See, we get better at the game. I mean, this area already looks like 900% better than the previous area that we built. It's just you learn as you go along how to do it organically, even if you don't know the real diagnostic reasons why you're building the way that you're building. It is what it is. We got a little bit more. Go ahead and upgrade as much as I can for right now. I think that we're actually limited right there by something. I'm not really sure what limited us. Something has limited us, though. We need to make some more super alloys. We're only importing +3, and so I think the best idea for right now would be to jump over into... I mean, if I could just buy them, that's fine, too. At 318 a pop. Inefficient. Very, very inefficient. So I'll work on that in between episodes. Basically what I'll do is I'm going to try and focus on this until we get up to the moon. But essentially what I'm going to try and do is off camera I'll go and I'll build some more super alloys in the Arctic map. So that I can come back over here. And now that we're really, really, really liquid at the moment, we're making a lot of money. I think we're just about out of the things we need down here. Probably could get away with building some kind of organic food farm over here just in case. I don't know what my organic food expenditures are, but... Oh, that's not the same size. Yeah, I was going to say they're negative.
A CEO such as yourself should show their presence on the world market every now and again.
Should they? I'm not so sure. How do I know the world market isn't just like your weird, corrupt plan to destroy me? Huh? You're up to something. I know you are. I'm on to you, banker. I don't trust you. That lines up fine over here. So we'll go ahead and give ourselves a bit of a limit, do some calculus. Maybe mash out a road right there. That's probably going to be just barely enough to get us positive, but you should really, really, really start to see these pump out in a minute. So why are you not upgradable? What's going on with you? What does it say? Missing buildings of this type. Not exactly sure what that means, but hey, let's keep expanding. Why not? There we go. And I'm sure something will fit in over here. Actually, the information drones will fit in over here. Every couple of blocks, I could put in another infodrome thing. And that'll be cool. This road is just going to have to suffer and, like, pooch in a little bit. I don't love it, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. In addition, if I could fit a big house in right here, that'd be cool. Put the workers in the big house, and then we'll put them right there, and then that should be absolutely fine. It looks like you need some kind of cap on workers to... I think it might be for the production quota. You have to have enough workers to work at the factories before to let you upgrade or something. I'm not 100% sure about that. Yeah, I bet that's what it is. It kind of feels like that might be. Can't upgrade too many more executives, but I love the way the city is looking now that it's got those skyscrapers. I've always been a sucker for a skyscraper. I was a city kid. I grew up in the city. And so, I don't know. It's what's familiar to me. That is to say, It's not that I'm unfamiliar with nature or anything like that. In fact, I got really obsessed with living naturally and survivalism and things like that once I got out of college, just as, you know, you get introduced to something that's different than what you're used to and you start to see the merits in it. And so I like both. There's things that I like about the wilderness and things that I like about the city. However, I will see you all in the next episode of Anno 2205. My name is Splattercat. See you next time, everybody. Hi-do.